Hello everybody and welcome back to the Laser Arcade and welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now I have realized that in my recordings I have been editing too much, and so I decided I'm going to pick a game, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play it, I'm not going to trim this up, this is going to be raw unedited footage, and so we're gonna play, and I'm really nervous, but let's go ahead and see what the end is never the end.
This
let's
is
see
the
what's
story
going
of
on.
a man named Stanley.
Ooh, that voice though.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his
Single.
desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Oh my gosh.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment
I already
the
do.
orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Until...
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Ooh.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses,
There was
he
something
got up from
under
his
the desk there.
and stepped out of his office.
Is this me? Ooh. It is. Now what did that say? Providing partitions for 56 years. Mouse sensitivity's a little high. A little better. So, I'm just an employee and I decide to get up out of my desk. Is there any secret to that? Oh, I can open by clicking things.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had sent... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for local laws. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go
I'm
put
willing.
20 clicks into door number 417?
417, you say? Oh, I think it's luring me. $417, eh? 417, where are you?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
I think that was back this way. This is my content, everybody. This is 437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
Is this
now,
the point of the
door
game?
415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Again, I feel like he's just luring me to...
Now, back to door number 437.
This is maddening. This is absolutely maddening. 437, he said?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Okay. I'll do what I'm told. I'll do exactly what I'm told. Where's the copy machine? Copy machine. Copy machine. Where's the coffee? I almost said coffee machine. Where's the copy machine? I don't think it's that way. That seems like an important room. Ooh. Can I just turn off computers? Oh. Do I get an achievement for turning off all the computers?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I don't think you are. I don't think we're getting somewhere.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Where's employee 419's desk? I don't know. I feel like this could take hours. I'm kind of bored of it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I guess I'll march on. I don't know what that was. I clicked it. Interesting. Huh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You can't tell me what to do.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this but eager to get back to business,
Ooh.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What's that room over there? What's this room? Ooh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So I guess it's almost like a personality test. You're like, are you super defiant or not?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the road, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm very powerful.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh,
What could it
now
mean?
I'm just back here. Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'll do what I'm told.
When
Gosh.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a... Hey! I'll have to go back and read that.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Is this just a time
Are
thing?
you Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes, I am.
Standing around
Yes, I
doing
am,
nothing?
sir.
Why?
Because
Please
I feel
offer
like
me
it.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because I want to. Because it's my choice. I have choices in life.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Okay, well, anyway. Onward, speedrun.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, boiler room-esque thing. I can't particularly read that, but I definitely will at some point. Oh, let's see.
But Stanley just couldn't
wait.
do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
And what
He
was
just
that?
hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Oh,
This
yes,
is all a
of
dream.
course.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oop.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all.
You
entered
talk
Stanley's
a
head.
lot.
One
You
he
talk
was
a lot,
amazed he
friend.
hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice
This
spoke to all
is
people in their
absurd.
dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these
That
words
garage
was quite a
doesn't make
shock
any
to
sense.
Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
No.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
What?
He felt the cool weight of the
Into the
blanket
wall.
on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my
Stanley
job.
has a wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
I am normal.
Everything will be fine. I am okay.
You sound hesitant there, friend. Nope, still here. Still ran into the wall.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Then what?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh my gosh.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Did she call the ambulance? Did she call the ambulance? And I'm back here. Wonderful. Okay, do exactly as you're told.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Do exactly as you're told.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
I wonder
left.
how many endings of this there are.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Up
Coming
the
to a
stairs we go.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He
Very
stepped into the
amazing.
newly opened passageway.
Ooh. This is like incredibly well done, I must say. That long monologue was a little difficult, but what else can you do? Down the elevator we go.
Descending deeper
To the
into
Stanley
building,
cave.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control. I like this. I like this idea.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Ooh.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, we do.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Was it 247? Interesting. Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused
to believe it.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
As we mostly do.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Well, and they're offline anyway. Awaiting input. 5. Oh, is this like a run around and do it thing? So let's see. 1, 2. And 3. And 4 somewhere. Can't see worth a dang. And I can't even get up there. Never mind. What is this? Console disabled. What's over here? Okay, well, anyway. Onward to the facility power like I'm told to do.
And when
System
at
power.
last he found the source of the room's power,
Oh. I broke it. I broke it.
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, it's never over.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was
Wow.
perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the
Wow.
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yay! Happy Stanley. Complete the Stanley Parable. That's it? Oh, I know there's more. I know there's more to this game. I know it. Because there's that whole thing of like disobedience and things like that. Because we're right back at the beginning inviting you to play again. Okay. Anyway, that will do it for today's episode. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Obviously, like I said, this is going to be raw footage. I think there's going to be one little piece that I cut out in the middle there because my assistant went off, and so I'm going to cut that out, and that's about it. And I'm going to position my face in the recording, and I'm going to cut this the way I want it to be 1920 by 1080, and then I'm going to get out of here. And so, like I said, I've been editing too much, and I think for me it's because I'm trying so hard to just like maintain attention and be able to engage people, and I need to dial that back a little bit. So it's been really hard. I've been struggling the past couple of weeks, and so I just appreciate you guys showing up for me, and so I just want to thank you for being here. And if you like my content, go check out my channel. I promise I'm not this sad boy all the time. But yeah, go check it out, see what you think. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. And I will see you in the next episode of Stanley Parable or Five Nights at Freddy's, whichever one's coming out next. And yeah, I just hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day.